Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about my thoughts and my struggles with Instagram. I remember when I was a young person back in 2010, there was this new social media app. It was called Instagram. I remember people who I know, including some of my siblings, would tell me, "Hey, there's this Instagram social media platform. You can take photos. You can have short videos. You can have different features for photos on how you want to make your photos look good." And at that time when I was young, I was like, "Oh, this sounds really cool." And I think, wow, you can look at the features, you can change the color of your picture, you can make short videos. And at first, I was really excited about it because everybody who I knew, including people, some of my friends, would have this platform. And I was like, wow, everybody's using it. Maybe I should create it. And so when I started to create an account in Instagram, I kind of was like thinking about myself as like, how would I want to visualize myself on this platform? How would I be able to post pictures or post videos? How do I explain about who I am as a person? How do I share creativity with other people? And for a long time, it took me a lot of time of jotting down my thoughts. I did research about the platform on YouTube just to give myself an insight, and also research about it through Google, um, and I got some insight of it, of course. But at the same time, I felt I want to try to be my own self on Instagram, and so well, what's really interesting with Instagram that I was using was I was trying to figure out, okay, maybe I should post a picture of me, maybe doing a solo traveling, for example, or maybe post a picture of getting a letter response from somebody who I wrote to, or maybe a picture of me hanging out with somebody who I know, or make a video of me like being creative, or maybe just doing working out, or maybe interacting with the Disney characters at Disney parks. And I thought maybe this would be cool. And also, one thing that I noticed with using this platform was connecting with other people. You can follow other people. You can follow your friends. You can follow celebrities. And originally at that time, I thought, this is really cool. You can follow celebrities like actors and actresses. You can follow the people who I know pretty closely, see what they're doing. And I thought, this is very cool. Like seeing what they're doing. You can make a comment. You can interact with them. You can use hashtags. You can mention their names and say something, say some kind of comment. However, what I realized that using this platform much further has caused a lot of challenges. Well, first of all, I've dealt with being cyberbullied a lot through Instagram, where I dealt where many people would make fun of me on how I look. People, like, even if I post a picture of myself wearing a nice clothes, or maybe a picture of me enjoying a nice view of when I travel, or a picture of me doing things, and I was getting like mean comments. People say, "Oh, you look ugly, you're a retard," and sometimes people would make very bad anti-disability stigma. They make fun of me for being struggling with the autism spectrum. Also, I dealt with getting a lot of hateful messages through the platform, where it became too tiring to look at, delete it, block people. And also, I have dealt a lot of challenges too, where I would get sometimes DM, like direct messaging from people who I didn't know, where people would try to ask me for like my social security, or ask me about my birth date, or try to sell stuff to me. And sometimes I dealt where some of my friends and some of the people I know who I was connected through this platform, where they would spread bad rumors about me that weren't true, including some women, including some girls who would say bad things about me being disabled to other people. And I've dealt experiences where um, that even though my account is private, some of my pictures of myself were have been manipulated by AI, where some people who I was connected with were take a copy, a picture of me, and manipulate to something that isn't true and spread to other people. And so um, that was a really hard challenge of me dealing with this, and it really hurts me as a person because I feel very vulnerable and very sad when people bully me for being disabled, or when people make mean comments, make mean comments about how I look, or say mean things like, oh, make fun of me for just because I have different interests than other people. Maybe I have interest in writing, interest in traveling, interest in learning about history, including social justice, or interest in trying to be a human being who wants to do good things despite the world being hard, or when it's filled with bigotry, including hate, and how I'm just trying to be a better person to improve myself with a disability. And so, that another challenge that I found was a big struggle with using this platform is I have dealt many times where other people who I was connected with, they would always compare on how many likes or comments they get than me. For example, like if somebody who I know posted a picture of them um, doing something, they get a lot of likes and a lot of comments. And sometimes the people who post these things, who I was connected with, they'll come back and say, "Oh, I'm better than you because I get so many likes and comments. Oh, I'm better than you," or like, look at me, I'm really have so many friends, so many followers, and just because I'm perfect than you, and it was really hard doing the whole comparison where other people would compare on how they're better than me, and it hit me really hard again, and I felt very, very insecure about myself. I felt pretty depressed. I felt like ashamed of myself. Like, why do people like to use hate against me just because I'm different from others, or maybe my creativity is different from other people? Am I really a bad person just because I'm disabled, or maybe I struggle with figure out how to make a good post, and and that, and so also, one other thing too that I found a really big struggle with using this platform, Instagram, was messaging, because I have dealt a number of times where even if I supposed to make new friends, if I meet new people, or sometimes some of my other people who I know, some of my friends would say, "Hey, I want to connect with you on Instagram. I want, feel free to message me. I'll be happy to listen to you." And there are times that, um, like when I would message people through using this platform, I always was getting ignored. I was getting ghosted while other people were doing other activities. And sometimes I dealt a lot of sadness too of being ghosted a lot by them. Would say, "Oh, and I would try to be very generous, polite in messaging, saying like, "Hey, how are you?" Or "I hope they're doing well," or like trying to say, "I'd like to hang out with you sometime," or just simply saying, "When would be a good time to chat?" Or those basic things, because I always try to be a respectful person when it comes to messaging people, because I do struggle with trying to organize my thoughts, or trying to figure out how to communicate myself better on messaging online, because I do struggle with trying to have good grammar, try to practice sentence structures, or sometimes I over message too much because I struggle with trying to figure out how to say the right statements, where it takes me much longer, and that. And so I've dealt a lot of times where people would ghost me on the messaging, and I get ignored. And sometimes another thing too that I've dealt many times is people who I was connected with through this platform. Whenever they say, "Hey, I want to hang out with you," and then all of a sudden they don't hang out with me. They post a picture of them doing other things with other people, and then they kind of rub against me, where they say, "Oh, I enjoy hanging out with these group of people than you," and sometimes they get that mean response, and um, it really hits me very hard, and I feel embarrassed. I feel ashamed. I feel guilt. Like, am I really a bad person for just trying to reach out to be a friend or just want to do stuff with people. And so, in that. Um, my other main concerns that I have with using this platform is AI, because AI has been very popular. It's been a popular trend for a very long time where AI can easily manipulate a video, can manipulate a picture into something that isn't true. And I've had some experiences where people who know or some people that follow me have used some pictures of me for manipulated into for something that isn't true, and that is very very concerning. And I'm always concerned about AI's role in Instagram or other social media platforms. And so, and what I have done a lot of time is I try to do is take breaks from using Instagram a lot, where I try to do is spend less time scrolling, spend less time posting like videos or including photos of me, just to protect my mental health until I feel like it is right to feel comfortable to go back. And so what I do a lot is I always try to do a lot of like we having screen time, trying to reduce how much I look on Instagram, reduce how long I spend time scrolling. And when I'm away from using this platform, I spend a lot of time trying to focus on doing other things, like, spending time volunteering, journaling about myself as a human being, try to work on doing other goals, like maybe do solo traveling or do other hobbies and that. And so, what I actually do a lot of times before, if I want to post something on Instagram, I always take a deep dive down, thinking to myself about how do I want to approach this right. And so, what I usually do is I journal myself. I try to say, okay, what have you learned in the past few years? Like, for example, I may say, like, I've taken a break from using this platform for a while to work on improving myself. Like, for example, I may say I spent my time volunteering to help feed the homeless, the disabled, the poor get food or essential items, or say like I spent a lot of time working on writing self-reflections about myself on how I'm trying to understand the world, trying to educate myself about the issues that I face when I struggle with having an autism spectrum, including learning disability, trying to teach myself about good intentions. And sometimes I may say like, okay, that's something I work on. And then um, and it takes a long time for me to journal because it's a lot of thinking to do. It takes a lot of time to critical thinking skills. It takes a lot of time to try to understand myself. And 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 another thing too is when it comes to posting stuff on Instagram, I try to be very, very careful about what I post. I try to limit about posting like a picture of myself, to protect myself from getting like hateful comments, being bullied, or people using a picture of me to be manipulated into something that isn't true. And I try to post a picture of an object, like maybe I might post a picture of a toy, or maybe post a picture of me like trying out a food, or what I usually try to do is with posting is I try to post like a type paper that I worked on, maybe like a self reflection myself, um, or just to explain about who I am as a person, as a way to try to protect me from bad rumors that are from coming true, or people using a lot of hate on it. So, um, and like I said, when it comes to communicating with people on this platform, it's very very challenging. And what I always try to tell people in general is like, here is my cell phone number. Here's you can text me, or I can give them my email address, or sometimes I give them like WhatsApp to say these are the better ways to communicate with me. And I don't feel comfortable communicating on this platform because I deal with hate. I deal with being bullied, being mistreated, and that. However, with this approach, it doesn't work well all the time because I do the same thing again, where a lot of people I know, people I'm connected with, would say, "Oh, we don't want to do email, we don't want to do phone, we don't want to do text, we don't want to do WhatsApp," and so um, and it's not easy, and all I can simply just do is I try to tell myself, it's not my fault that I don't feel comfortable about communicating over this platform. Everybody has different ways of communicating, but the best thing that I can do is just say I try to make sure I feel comfortable on what I can do and to express my concerns about using this platform. And so overall, in my opinion of Instagram is I like the features of it, like creating videos, taking pictures, trying to create different format of picture or style of picture. I like the creativity part of it. I think it's very cool. But on the other hand, I feel like the platform has become incredibly toxic, very difficult, very rough, very meanness, and it makes me very uncomfortable and that and so. Um, and it's not very easy because everybody uses social media these days. Everybody uses Instagram. Everybody always posts stuff. Everybody posts videos and that. But it's really hard for me to feel comfortable using the platform. And so um, my advice is for many people who do struggle with using this platform, or if they've been a victim of being bullied or feeling down about themselves because about how the the app is working or how other people like to say mean things to other people, is it's okay to give yourself a break from using the platform. Um, it's okay to take the time to do a lot of self reflection of yourself, where you can try to understand yourself as a person, navigating society or challenges, or trying to find ways to improve yourself to be a better person, and that to remind yourself that everybody's very unique in many ways. It's okay if you're different from others. You shouldn't feel ashamed about yourself. That everybody's has different ways of being creative, and that you don't have to be like these other people, or you don't have to feel like you have to compare yourself, or you don't have to feel like you're a bad person just because other people make fun of you. And so, and also my other advice is, um, in order to take a break from using the platform, you can try to do is create a screen time, try to create a limit on how much time you spend time scrolling, try to do other activities like maybe go for a walk, do some solo traveling, do other hobbies as a way to take a break from it. And and that is my main advice for a lot of people who feel like they struggle with using Instagram. And so, um, um, and also, my other main advice for using this platform is you should try to be extremely careful about what you post, because there are days that the platform itself can share your privacy with other places. They could share with your work, or could share with other people that you didn't approve of it. And also, you could deal with people who you're connected with could manipulate a picture of you that isn't true, or use it as a way for bad rumors. So, my personal experience and my personal advice is try to be very creative on how you want to post stuff. Like maybe you can post an object instead of yourself all the time, or you can post like something that you wrote or something like on a type paper, and you can, or if you post a picture of an object, you describe some of your thoughts, your feelings as a way to try to protect yourself from the dangers and the concerns of using this platform. And so I know that social media is never easy. It's always a challenge, including using Instagram. It's very, very draining. It's hard, but I want to share with you some of my thoughts, my concerns, my challenges, and some of my advice. I know that I'm not very good at giving advice to a lot of people, but I hope that um, from learning a little bit about my struggles, my challenges of using this platform can help many of you try to navigate um, using Instagram or try to understand um, when people are heavily relied on using this platform for a lot of reasons. So thanks for taking the time to listen to me.